Hey guys, so I've been trying to do some projects to add to my portfolio um, for potential employers, but what I'm working on currently is called a uh, it's called a nitrogen T laser, a nitrogen TEA laser. Um, but basically, I got it set up and I got these two. I'm using these brass tubes as electrodes. Um, but what I learned is I think you need a pretty sharp edge in order to get like a really good discharge. So I looked online and a lot of people are recommending this angle aluminum, and I guess it has like a nice sharp edge for the spark to jump across. Um, and I think the current problem that I'm having is first of all, I don't think these tubes are, I don't think they're pressed down well enough onto foil foil. So I don't think they're making sufficient contact. And also I just think they're too round. So I don't think the spark is jumping well. But here's the supply I'm using. So I tried to find a high voltage supply on US Amazon, but all I could find was you'll find the neon sign versions, which are good and all, but they're meant to power like the signs you see at stores. And they're rated for 10,000 volts, which is what I need, but the current is in the milliamps, and if I accidentally touch this, I don't want to like die. So that's why I used I bought this one off of eBay, and it was from Austria. And it might appear backwards, but the max current is 100 UA. So in the case of accidental contact, I should be okay. Yeah, and here's the charging resistor I'm using. I got these off Amazon. They're I think they're just called glass glaze resistors. This is a 1 megohm. And then here I have a 1 megohm. So it kind of reminds me a lot of my oscillator projects, because this resistor is essentially responsible for the charging rate of this capacitor plate. And once this capacitor plate charges, it goes along this inductor and it charges the other plate. And then once it reaches a sufficient level of charge, there's this spark gap. And I don't know if you've ever seen like a power line or something, but you know, if you have high voltage, if you have high enough voltage, it reaches a certain point where it can jump this air gap, right? So if you have this gap farther apart, it means it requires a higher voltage before it jumps. If you have it closer, it means a lower voltage is required before it jumps. And that essentially kind of, it allows you to control the frequency, I guess, a bit. But one thing you want to be mindful of, if you have this gap too big, then that means the voltage can build, higher or pretty high. And if you allow the voltage to build too high, you risk perforating the dielectric between the, I guess you could call them plates, but they're just foil. But yeah, you risk letting it build high enough to where it could perforate the dielectric. So yeah. So I just went to Home Depot before they closed and I bought this. So I'm gonna try to reassemble this with angled with angled electrodes like this instead of these round tubes. And I'm hoping I should get some I guess they call it lasing, is like when you make a laser beam. I'm hoping I should get some lasing. And the thing is, the wavelength produced by this type of laser, this nitrogen laser, because the atmosphere is like 70% nitrogen or 70 something. The wavelength is it's UV, so it's not gonna, so if I successfully complete this laser, the light isn't gonna be visible. But what I learned from reading online is there's this thing called tonic water, and it basically contains a chemical. I don't really know how to pronounce it. Quinine. It contains this this chemical, and when you hit it with UV light, I think it turns like blue. So once I complete this, I won't know if it works just by looking at it. So I'll take this bottle of water. I got this from Safeway, but here I have a 2-liter with the label removed. So if I get a successful laser beam out of this nitrogen T laser, it should make a blue or a glowing streak in this 2-liter bottle. So that's where I'm at right now. I did upload when I had this on, and it was just neat to see it work, or and not work, but I mean kind of work. But I think I'm almost there. And I guess I'll post another video once I get once I get it working. I think I'm confident I can get it working, but yeah. Oh, and my name's Isaiah, by the way. Okay, bye.